What did that old silver ear know about the lady in white anyway? Honestly, what could he really know? No, he must have it wrong. Heard the information wrong. Because I saw her. She was the purest thing I've ever laid eyes on. She gave us hope when there wasn't any to be found. Especially for me. Aye, you're right. Can't argue with the fact that everyone who has gone searching has never returned, and all that's been recovered are the ruins of their ships. But there have never been any bodies found. Not even a single skeleton. Have you considered that perhaps they found paradise and simply set their ships adrift, never planning on the return? What else am I supposed to believe? If I give up now, then my whole reason for becoming who I am today is a sham. A waste of time. I can't give up on it just like that. It'll all be for nothing! Sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. I just got a little heated. I don't care what that old coot said. Whether that woman is a temptress that feasts on the souls of sailors, or is the guide that leads me to the life I've already dreamt about. I must see it for myself. Alas, you wouldn't understand. Though your life wasn't by any means perfect. You had both of your parents still above ground. You don't understand the loss. The hopelessness. It's a feeling worse than anything in the world. And not one I would wish upon any person. Least of all you. No. It was nothing so natural as a sickness that stole my parents from me. They were murdered. Cut down by the very men that my father served with. Traitors in the commanding fleet. I'm not about to bore you with my backstory. Fair point. I'll tell you a little bit. My father was the lord of a realm and entrusted with the 4th Royal Armada. Yes, that is why I speak the way I do. Unlike most men that take to the sea, I was educated. My father saw to that. He was courageous and just. Life was all fine and dandy. Until he found out what his senior officers were doing behind his back. Robbing the poor and defenseless town people, taking far more than the king's tax required. My father put a stop to it, believing it was wrong. But he couldn't have known that the treachery was far deeper than just a few men. They reported him to the higher-ups, and the other lords in the court who were also involved in the crimes already hated him for convincing the king to let him marry a lowly dancer. My mother, the most gentle, loving woman. They began forging papers to have my father sent off dangerous missions, hoping that he would not return. And eventually, they succeeded. As for my mother, she had a mysterious accident and fell off a cliff. They destroyed my life. I was left to fend for myself, a child of 10. I was turned out of my home and started to steal from the vendors just to eat. But when I stole my first piece of bread, it tasted so sweet. I was slowly getting revenge. And that was when I saw her. A lady dressed in white. She seemed so ethereal, promising a life filled with wonders greater than I could ever imagine. The promise of everything good in this life. That's when I decided to pursue this future. I set my mind on rebuilding, on having a family that wouldn't perish or be stolen from me the way my parents were. That's why I am who I am today. one of the most revered pirates of the seas, and I'll see my goal through. Whatever it takes. Just be glad I've had a few drinks, otherwise I wouldn't have spilled so much. But I warn you, say a single word of this to my crew, and I'll throw you off the ship's highest deck. Good.
This is the last of your drinks for tonight. Last call is early due to the festival.
Festival tonight?
Indeed. Tonight's the night of the Trident Festival on the south side of Siren's Cove.
Ah, that explains the crowds. I thought there had been a bit more commotion as of late.
One night only. You two lovebirds should go and enjoy it. There will be snacks and special vendors arriving just for the festivities. And the night will end with fireworks.
Thank you, miss, for the information. We might just do that. My dear little Pearl, what's the point of being a pirate if you can't have a little fun? Who knows? But in this crowd, I highly doubt we'll be recognized. And we have a long and perilous journey ahead that we may not return from. So we may as well live tonight like it's our last night. Come on. Alright, now whatever you do, do not pull down your hood. Not even for a moment. Understand? Good girl. Don't fret, we'll soon get you a hat and you won't need to wear your hood. Don't you think my style of hat might be a little bit too large for you? Don't you think your frail arms would crumble just trying to place it on your pretty head? Let's see what can be done then. There are a few clothing vendors. Let's try there. No, there's no need for stealing. At least not right now. We still have coins from my men seeking all of the bounty from earlier. And anyway, we can't risk stealing in a crowd like this. Too many officials. That's another thing you must learn, my little pirate. You need to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Now, which one do you like? Ah, not a bad choice. If you please, sir, that hat there for the lady.
Absolutely, my fine gentleman. I also have a fine selection of precious stones, set to ward off evil.
No, thank you. We don't need... What are you doing? A cerulean stone. I suppose it is perfect, matching my eyes and my name. But how did you pay for it? You stole it. You're one cute little pirate. Thank you. I will treasure it. Oh, please, you don't need to be that close. It's safer this way. Well, aren't you a curious little kitten tonight? Maybe it's my real name or maybe it isn't. Regardless of my eye color and the color of the stone, cerulean is the name I have. So does it really matter? Good. Because I think I've told you more than enough about myself for one night. I'm so full. And it also looks like the fireworks are coming to an end. We had best head to the ship as we'll be staying there tonight. That's right. Far too many guards around in the town. The crew, I've given them a shore leave tonight, and they'll be staying in the inns I expect. Unlike the two of us, they don't stand out to the many officers who will also be staying there. The two of us are hot commodities at the moment, and I'd rather not run into a problem of us being recognized, so we will be staying here on the ship. Aye, just the two of us. But don't be fretting your head and getting ideas. I see those cheeks. Alright, you can go and get changed for bed. I'll do one more sweep around the ship just to make sure no one peeks on you while you're changing.